I mean, that's a very short time frame that is alleged in the indictment. Talking what, 4 days?
Well,
5 days?
yes,
Well, yeah,
from August 24th, 2023 to September 4th.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at an old indictment. I'm sorry, hold on. I was looking at another
about
case.
10 days maybe.
Hold on. So in the new cause number. So yeah, this one is August 24th of 2023 through September 4th of 2023. So less than a couple of weeks, a couple of weeks or so is the allegation. And I don't want to have to keep coming back here. But I think to go back, if it was a few weeks off or a month or two off, but if we're talking years of requesting that, then I think that's something that indictment needs to allege. And so we can go forward with that time frame today. I think legally that's where we need to be. She's already pled to it, so I think it's kind of late to amend the indictment. So with regard to the time frame of August 24th through September 4th of 2023, what is the amount between that time frame? Do you guys have that? Okay, we're back on the record. Cause numbers 25 DCCR 0297, 19 33340, and 20 36095. Y'all have an opportunity to kind of go back through the receipts as far as that time frame legally that we can kind of talk about on this case.
Mr. Coleman came up with a number of $2,407. In speaking with Ms. Leonard, her recollection actually is a little bit more than that. She thinks somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000. We had agreed to, or we had offered $3,500. And I think that Ms. Leonard feels comfortable paying back as far as restitution.
So if she agrees that it's between $3,500 and $4,000,
Between 3 and 4,000.
3 and 4, I'm more inclined to go on the higher end of that, just based on the nature of the time frame that we're unable legally to look back on. And so I would be inclined to order the 4,000, Mr. Coleman.
Judge, that makes perfect sense. I've spoken with the complainant who is here today, the district
Yes.
manager for Sutherland's. His position is he'd like to be heard by the court. He was thinking that if the defendant was placed on probation, that they'd be getting a lot more in the way of restitution. I explained to him how we arrived at where we are, but he still wants to address the court and quite possibly ask the court to reconsider. If he's not going to get more than what he's getting in the way of restitution, he would want the court to reconsider some type of form of jail time.
Okay, and sir, you can come on up. Good morning, Mr. Powell. Thank you for being patient with us this morning. It was a big morning here. Mr. Powell, would you please raise your right hand? All right, thank you, sir. And Mr. Powell, you kind of heard where we are on this legally. I understand there's a significant amount of restitution that you believe could potentially be owed based on some prior dealings that aren't within the time frame that we're talking about. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And I'm going to just, if it's okay with everybody, just let Mr. Powell tell me what he needs to. If there's any questions of him after that, I'll gladly let you guys ask questions. But Mr. Powell, you can go ahead if you would like.
I don't have any questions. Tommy explained to me what the restitution would be. We lost a substantial amount of money.
Sure.
And if that's what we're going to be awarded, I would prefer jail time versus the restitution.
Okay, I understand that completely. Anything else that you'd like to say? Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Coleman.
Just really briefly, Mr. Powell, was any of these losses covered by insurance?
No.
What, if any, effect did it have on Sutherland and its practices going forward?
Other than the loss of funds, quite a few effects. We had to change the way our IT department had to change the way some of our transactions are rang, and that they can be rang and returned and voided. Myself, I'm a district manager, so I manage several stores. So myself, it added quite a bit to my duties as far as verifying reports, verifying voids, verifying where transactions are run, and looking at each store transactions daily and talking to the managers to verify why this transaction was running in a certain way. and why it was voided. So it adds quite a bit more to my morning. Before I can get started on my store, which is Beaumont, I have to verify the other stores, and I have to go through and do a lot of extra work.
And Mr. Powell, we are cutting this down a lot more than what you and I kind of rehearsed or scripted. Just high level, 30,000 foot level for the judge. We have documents here that will show that this defendant essentially engaged in a scheme of enlisting other people or asking other people, but unbeknownst to them, to void transactions and later on remove money from the register. Am I dumbing it down too much?
No, that's actually correct.
Okay.
That's pretty much how we found it because it was a set pattern. The way the system works is if you void a transaction, the transaction disappears. So if you void a transaction and take the money out, we don't know because the money's gone because the transaction's gone. What was happening was a transaction will be ran, the customer pays cash. I reprint the receipt so I know how much to ask for a void for. They would void the transaction, and now I know how much money to take out of the drawer. So what I get in the morning in the past, on my reports, it just says there was a void on, done this day for this amount of money. It doesn't say why or how much or who. Now, and of course, with me trusting my cashiers in my office,